Hey, collective, what do you guys think about people paying on first dates? So, who do you guys think should pay on a first date? Teenagers specifically. Maybe should the guy pay for the first date, or who do you guys think should pay on the first date?
Well, I'll kick off. I'm kind of old school there. The guy should be the one doing the asking out, but basically, whoever's doing the asking out in today's environment is the one assuming the responsibility of the bill. But in my book, the guy should be doing the asking out, and he should have some thought of how much it's going to cost, whatever he's asking that individual to go do. So,
Ah,
so that individual needs to do a little homework. When I started out, we only went to school activities that cost a quarter to get into. So that wasn't an insurmountable amount. Today, holy cow, you can easily spend a $50 bill just going to a movie today.
yes. I like where you're going with that. I see that. I agree with whoever does the asking out should be the person who pays, but the person who's asking the person out should also know how much that's going to cost. Because
Okay, I have a follow up to that.
okay,
Okay, if I ask somebody out and say, hey, you want to go out to dinner with me tonight? And I pick a restaurant, and that person says, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go here. Well, I had a $20 a meal restaurant picked, and the other person picked a $150 a meal restaurant. We live in Las Vegas, and it's real easy to get a $150 to $500 meal in Las Vegas. It's hard to find a $20 meal.
yes, I'm assuming.
So the responsibility goes back to being a good date also, and expectation management. Before you ask that person out, maybe you should have had a conversation with that person about dating. It's
Yeah,
after having sex, it's too late to ask about birth control.
yeah, that's
Well,
absolutely true.
asking somebody out on a date is too late to ask about expectation. You need to have that expectation management done ahead of time.
Yeah.
Next.
So I agree that whoever's doing the asking out should pay. I still think the other person should have some money in their pocket and at least be kind enough to offer. But whoever's doing the asking out should have the onus of knowing that they're picking up the check.
Well,
But at 16, I think a first date, $50, $60.
You don't think that's quite steep for a first date? Well, I mean, I
Well,
get what you live in Las Vegas. That's true. Which it's hard to go places that
it's
don't
gonna be
cost.
hard to find a whole meal less than $30 when sodas are $4 a piece.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
one thing to remember out there: if you're not the driver, you should always have Uber money in your pocket to get home.
Uh, yeah,
If comes to be the evil mad scientist that wound up asking you out, boy or girl or whatever, you need to have your escape plan to get away from that.
it's a very good point. Yeah, I like that one too. And I also like what you bring up that whoever does the asking out should have like the onus of responsibility to be the person to pay, but the other person should also maybe have a little
Or
cash
offer
on
to
it.
pick up the tip, or
Yeah, I agree with that. Uh,
Even as an adult, that's kind of my expectation. I usually offer to pay, but I expect the other guy to throw the cash out on the table for the tip.
yeah,
That's
that's fair. I like that. I don't. I feel like would it change once you get, let's say, 18 or 19? Who do you who do you think should pay then? I mean, obviously, still the person who does the asking out, but
I'm going with the person who's asking out, but still, there should be an understanding between the two that maybe every once in a while the other person pick up the tab.
it changes with the level of relationship. Are you Facebook official? Are you know what I mean?
yeah,
I agree.
And of course, the older you get, the higher your tab is going to be,
Yeah.
the more cost there is to that date.
yes,
Especially if you decide you're gonna have drinks with your meal,
yeah.
You're 21 for that. don't
but
forget.
they're expensive. It's a
Yes.
whole lot better if you all just decide to drink water.
I mean, that $15 bottle of water,
Oh, no. We do tap water. We'll take tap. Oh,
Still recording?
Yeah, it's still recording.
All right. Yeah, I kind of agree with the consensus. Like if I were to ask your mom out or something like that, even before, like I would, like, yeah, like, hey, if we're gonna go get sushi, it's on me, right? Or if we're gonna go do something, it's on me, right? It's just kind of like the older way, but I mean, respectively, you should. Vice versa. If somebody asks me out, like, hey, I got it, okay, well, just like Keith was saying, I gotta have the tip. It's just more like contribution to the group, or at least the night or the date. But at a young age, I would say, yeah, start maybe with movies. I mean, they're getting kind of expensive nowadays, but there's some stuff you guys can go do that's relatively cheap. Me personally, if I'm starting to talk to somebody, I'm going cheap. Like I'm being cheap. I'm going to Starbucks, which that's really not cheap nowadays. Buy coffee and just kind of get the conversation on how to know them a little bit more, and then ask them to build up from there, right? Just kind of set your foundation and build up from there. That's what I would do. Not everybody does that, and I'm not trying to be a tightwad, but it just, if it's not working right away or the conversation is just dull, like, okay.
Now, some of this goes back to one of your other videos. I think you had a video about social currency.
Yes, I did.
Your social currency is how well you can manage expectation.
Exactly.
You need to sit down with the girl or boy you're thinking about asking out. Before you ever ask them out, have asked some of those questions. How many dates have you been on? Have you been on dates before? What was your favorite date you went on? Maybe you don't want to ask them, have you been on a date, or who, what? But feel that out. Have some back and forth conversation. You know, part of it is, do you have a job? Do they have a job? Or are you all begging money from mommy to go do it? If it's begging from mommy, then that becomes a little more serious, you know, how, and the other question needs to be, okay, if you're Facebook official, whoever the two of you are, you need to have some expectation of how often would you like to go out? And if my budget for a month is X, then I have to fit Y into X. I have to do the algebra. If I'm going to go out once a week for 4 weeks,
Could
all of a sudden that gets to be a exponentially large number.
yes.
There's always restaurants that have coupons or an app, or if you do your research, you can sign up early and you'll have that free appetizer waiting.
You can get
Or
Burger
a free
King.
dessert,
Or you can stop by the grocery store and get a hoagie sandwich and a bag of potato chips for a $10 bill and go to a park
From Winco.
and
Yeah.
have a social expectation conversation.
But I like your point, going back to the point of sit down with your partner or whoever it is. If you guys are, talking or starting to get into that stage of you're official, and sit down with them and have that conversation of what would you want to do as a date? What are some fun things that you like to do? And when would you want to do them?
Well, that's great. How do you get to have that conversation? You've struggled miserably with that.
Yeah, I guess you get to have that conversation by maybe sitting down at a park bench or sitting down eating ice cream somewhere. I think just really sitting down somewhere and
Like
just
one of those early on dates, going to a place like Freddy's and having a yogurt or an ice cream, a $10 date instead of a $100 date, and
Yes.
talking about some of those expectations. Go maybe after school, stop by
maybe like Freddy's actually, since there's. But yeah, I agree with that. That maybe have like an eye-to-eye conversation, maybe not a side-to-side because that's, you really do that. But eye-to-eye conversation with the person, and it's better to talk in person than it is to text message them. I've talked about this multiple times on this channel that
in many communities, the churches have social activities every week, free social activities with free food.
Yes.
You're not necessarily going for the
for the church.
for the religion factor. You're going for the place to take your date that's
Yeah.
affordable.
That it
And
is.
as long as you all have that expectation, hey, let's go surf up the community calendar and see what's out there, what's going on. Where's the next food festival in town? Or we have an option here in Las Vegas that most small towns across America don't have. Every corner in Las Vegas has a food truck on it.
Absolutely.
You can go to the taco truck, or there's a truck out here every day, the hamburger truck,
Yeah.
cheeseburgers and fries for $5.95.
Yeah.
I
And
think this weekend there's a whole food truck festival
man, that would.
just right up here at the casino in the parking lot.
So go check use AI. Go ask AI.
Yeah.
Where's a cheap place to go on a date? Not to go on a cheap date, but where's a cheap place to go on a date?
Do that, you guys. I mean, or ask your parents. I mean, but AI will give you all of the answers. AI will tell you what's closest to you, what's most affordable.
But if you've enjoyed this conversation, it's free. Subscribe. Come
Please.
back for more.
Comment.
We've got 200 years of experience sitting here waiting to help you all.
Like,
Let us know where you like to go on your first dates.
Well, guys, make sure to comment on what you guys think about who should really pay for the first date. And subscribe, everybody, if you want to see more of the collective.